People said, hey, you need a hobby. Well, I had one. This was broken in really, really well. People said, why don't you take your dog for a walk? What about the other one? Have I mentioned my previous attempts at YouTube? All right, y'all. This is my parts caster, built from assembled pieces and parts that I've ordered on the internet and taken off other guitars.
Good morning. I hope this message finds you well. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about intellectual growth.
Especially when it comes to sit-ups, my baseline is pretty much the floor. And that's pretty much how I got here. The idea came when I was working in a retirement community. There was a guy that came into the nursing home section, skilled nursing care. And basically, he was a player. He'd been a player for years. He played for his family. He played, live. He'd done shows. He was a gigging musician. At one point in time, he'd been a professional musician. And he had a Gibson Dove, an absolutely gorgeous guitar. Well, it wasn't like they could bring it in and actually keep it in his room that he shared with another person, especially on a unit where they had Alzheimer's. And he talked about the fact that he couldn't play anymore. He couldn't play. And of all the things that he missed, he missed his wife, obviously, he missed his family, he missed his independence. But the fact that he couldn't play always kind of struck a chord with me, no pun intended. And so I gave him one of my little Rogue travel guitars. He fell asleep that night in his bed with it clutched to his chest. The nurse said he had been noodling on it all night until he finally went to sleep. If you play, you know. Well, when I left, I'll be honest with you, I forgot all about it. I didn't think anything of it. And then last year, I started having some trouble that needed surgery. And on November 27th, 28th, I went into the hospital and I had surgery. And they were hitting one of my hypothyroid glands. And they were able to correct the problem of the overactive hyperthyroid that was dumping calcium into my blood at an alarming rate. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, they got that taken care of. Broccoli. They got that taken care of. And the next thing I know, I start dumping weight like crazy. Hey, isn't that awesome? The surgery was a success then, right? Come on, 30 pounds in 30 days. How awesome is that? Well, over the next 30 days after that, I lost another 15. I like the way this is trending. So I go to the doctor to get a checkup. They check my levels and all that other kind of stuff. Well, there's a problem. I've lost all that weight, but I still have some bad habits. If you ask me about vegetables, my response would be, vegetables? Food? That's what food eats. I was drinking 3 liters of Coke a day. I was spending about $60 a week on fast food. Breakfasts. I thought A1C was a senator. I was depressed and angry. So they check a thing called A1C, which is the long-term amount of sugar that you've got in your blood. And they find out that my A1C is 14.1. If you know, you know. My doctor calls me and says, get yourself to the ER. Tell them you're having a blood sugar emergency. I go into the ER. They admit me. I get to go to the front of the line. That's never a good sign. And then I spend 3 days in the hospital being educated about the fact that I am now diabetic. Not only does this mean a change in behavior as far as diet and exercise go, or a change in diet, but it also means a change in lifestyle. Suddenly, I can explain why I've had that thrush, that sugar coating on my tongue and my throat, nothing's tasted right, and how I just can't seem to drink enough fluids. But there was also another side effect. My hands. All of a sudden, my hands don't cooperate. Well, that's an issue for me because I play guitar, right? Not only do I play guitar, I've got a fairly substantial number of guitars that are full scale. Basses, my dad's acoustic bass, my G&L Doheny, my American Strat, the Strat that I built. I just picked up a Squier Paranormal Telecaster. I just picked up a Stratasonic, full size. It's 24-inch scale, but still pick that up. I just got these things, man, and all of a sudden, I can't play them. I'm a used to be player. So I remembered that travel guitar. So it looks like it's time to make some other adaptations. All right. So I kept going to the gym. I started eating healthier food. Not healthy food, but healthier food. I keep dropping weight at a substantial rate. I get into shape. And I still can't play a full-size guitar. So, after I sell a couple of my guitars and buy some minis, a friend of mine suggests physical therapy, and I start that. Another friend suggests massage therapy, and I start that. Another friend of mine suggests acupuncture. Well, guess what? I don't exactly have a fear of needles anymore. I'm checking my blood sugar 4 times a day. I'm injecting insulin as needed and every night. I'm taking metformin. And all of a sudden, the guy that never took pills is taking 8 a day, every day. And I'm going to for the rest of my life. But the good news is my life is going to be shorter because diabetes shortens your lifespan by 7 to 10 years. That's less days to take pills, y'all. All right.
I walked so much on my treadmill that I actually broke the one at my house. So I joined a gym, and every day I would drop my son off at school, and then I would go to the gym and I would walk. At first, I just wanted to make it 10 minutes, then 15, then 20, then a mile, and then my goal became to walk a 5K, then a 5K in under a half an hour, then trying to do a 10K. And I finally got to the point where I could do a 10K. And the funny thing about it is, I couldn't walk the next day. I did too much too soon, ended up hurting myself to the point where I had to quit. Getting healthy was killing me.
But the part that bothers me more than anything else is I can't play. 10 minutes is at most all I've got, and then my hand locks up, except for those minis. So I give it 6 months. 6 months of the physical therapy, 6 months of occupational therapy, 6 months of laying my hand flat and spreading it out, 6 months of pressing down on tabletops, 6 months of massaging my hand. I even picked up one of those electronic hand massagers. 6 months. Let's see what a difference it made. 6 months and I still can't play. Not for any length of time. But I got all these minis. I've been doing that YouTube content to give myself something to do, something to think about. I wonder how long I can play one of those. I'm pretty happy with 2 hours. And the question is, do I lament what I can no longer do? Or do I celebrate the fact that I can still play?